Discover the best in local business news with a subscription to the IBJ and Inside Indiana Business. For a limited time, try us out for just $1 a week for 8 weeks. Claim this limited time offer now at ibj.com/trial offer.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Thursday, February 26th, 2026. I'm Abriana Herron. A subsidiary of South Korean-based Huntington NCS is planning to establish its first U.S.-based manufacturing facility in Huntington, which is expected to initially create 300 jobs. Huntington America will build the facility on 133 acres of land in the River Fork West Industrial Park, the Indiana Economic Development Corporation announced Thursday. The company did not immediately disclose its financial investment in the project. Huntington plans to manufacture energy storage system components for customers such as Samsung SDI and Stellantis, who operate the StarPlus Energy electric vehicle battery manufacturing plant in Kokomo. The company plans to break ground on the facility in April, with operations slated to begin in June of 2027. Replay Sports Cards will open a franchise location this week in Seymour, marking the brand's first franchisee-owned store after years of operating corporate-owned shops. The company, headquartered in Charlotte, North Carolina, announced the store will open on February 28th on the west side of Seymour. The shop will serve as a space where collectors can buy, sell, trade, and grade cards. Longtime friends, card traders, and now business partners John Stigdon and Jason Buckle will own and operate the Seymour location. In a previous interview with Inside Indiana Business, Buckle says customer service and atmosphere are top priorities.
Whether they're spending $5 or $500, we just want them to have a place to come, be able to hang out, talk the hobby, and let their kids have a good environment to be at.
The pair initially announced the franchise agreement with Replay Sports Cards in December, helping launch the company's franchise program. Former University of Evansville trustee Barbara J. Kolb Price will make a $2 million bequest donation, the university says. The funding will support an endowed faculty chair in the chemistry department, and the gift will support faculty-led student research initiatives and curriculum and laboratory improvements. Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand is made possible by the following.
Thanks for listening to this IBJ Media podcast. You're probably going to remember this ad. Do you know why? Podcast advertising works. 85% of listeners recalled hearing an ad during a podcast, and 70% of podcast listeners have acted after hearing an ad. So whether you're looking to be heard across the entire IBJ Media Podcast Network, sponsor one of our shows, or just start with a 30-second ad, IBJ Media can help. Contact advertise at ibj.com to learn more.
A proposal to keep cell phones out of Hoosier students' hands for the entire school day is headed to the governor's desk after clearing its final legislative hurdle Wednesday. The Indiana Senate voted 36-12 to approve Senate Bill 78, sending the measure to Governor Mike Braun for a final sign-off. The legislation would require school districts and charter schools across Indiana to adopt policies largely prohibiting student cell phone use from the start of the school day until dismissal. 7 Democrats and 5 Republicans opposed the bill. The Indianapolis Public Schools Board has adopted a new student privacy policy as it faces an ongoing lawsuit from Indiana's Attorney General over immigration enforcement. Inside Indiana Business's Alex Brown has more.
In a unanimous vote Wednesday, the IPS board approved a policy aimed at creating what it calls a uniform administrative protocol to ensure district actions stay within the bounds of the law. The move comes after Attorney General Todd Rokita sued the district, alleging it unlawfully restricted cooperation with federal immigration authorities. The lawsuit challenges a 2017 IPS resolution that told staff not to assist immigration enforcement unless legally required and authorized by the superintendent. Rokita argues that policy violated state law, which bars local governments from limiting enforcement of immigration laws. The dispute stems in part from a deportation case involving an IPS student and his father. The Attorney General claims district staff hindered efforts to reunite the child with his father ahead of a scheduled deportation flight. IPS denies that claim, saying no legal documentation was provided at the school and that federal immigration officers never came to campus. Last month, the board rescinded the 2017 resolution. The new policy directs the superintendent to develop guidelines for how staff should coordinate with legal counsel when outside agencies request access to students or records. It also affirms the district will continue providing equal access to public education regardless of immigration status, while complying with state and federal law. The case is expected to move forward in the Marion County Superior Court. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
TaylorMade Golf Company is planning a multi-million-dollar expansion of its warehouse and distribution operations in Evansville, the company announced Wednesday. The California-based golf equipment manufacturer says it will occupy and equip a new warehouse facility early next year and create up to 50 jobs by the end of 2031. Pat Hickney, Economic Development Director for the Evansville Regional Economic Partnership, says in an email to Inside Indiana Business that TaylorMade's investment will total $58.9 million. In a news release, TaylorMade says that the new space will enable the company to move its current operations under one roof to support increased demand for its products across North America. I'm Abriana Herron for Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand.
I'm Tiffany Souter, mom of four, wife, entrepreneur, and host of the Life of And podcast. For years, I built my life with brute force, a successful business, a growing family, and absolutely zero margin. I was tired, snappy, and felt constantly behind, and I was too afraid to admit it. Everything changed when I stopped trying to do more and started building systems that actually worked for my real life. If you too are craving more peace, more presence, and just more time for you, I'd love for you to join me on the Life of And. Subscribe now on your favorite podcast app or listen at ibjpodcast.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.